Yeah, good morning to all. So, good morning to everybody. So, is my voice audible to you? Is my voice audible to everybody? Okay. So, it seems, yeah, so it is audible. Okay, now I am going to close the chat box and it will be opened in the last 15 minutes. Okay. So, you can ask your doubts in the last 15 minutes. Until that, your chat box will be muted. Close the chat box. Okay. Now listen to me here. So, in the last class, we discussed about plant kingdom. So, till plant kingdom we have completed, and today I am going to discuss about taxonomy of angiosperms under morphology of flowering plants. In AP State Book, they gave a separate chapter with the heading taxonomy of angiosperms. So, this is very important. Here you are going to have lot of details which were not there in the NCERT book. So, I know that this remembering all these information is very difficult, but you need some practice and repeated revisions before going to the final EAPCET. And this topic is also very important for your EAPCET. Okay. So, now let us go with taxonomy of angiosperms. So, as you know, the father of taxonomy, it is Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus von Linnaeus is a father of taxonomy. He was actually a Swedish pastor and a physician as well as botanist. And the term taxonomy was coined by A.P. de Candolle. Who is it? A.P. de Candolle was the man who coined the term taxonomy. In taxonomy, we have two branches. One is alpha taxonomy and other one is omega taxonomy. Listen to me carefully about the difference between alpha and omega. Alpha taxonomy is based on only morphological characters. If plants are categorized into different taxa only on the basis of morphology, then it is called alpha taxonomy. If the plants are categorized into different taxa besides morphology, apart from morphology, if other information from other branches like embryology, cytology, anatomy, phytochemistry, etc. is also taken, then it is called omega taxonomy. So, omega taxonomy was arised by taking the information from morphology and also information from other branches. If taxonomy, in taxonomy, the categorization of different taxa is done only by using morphology, then it is called alpha taxonomy. Got the difference? So, alpha taxonomy is based on only morphology. Omega taxonomy, morphology plus information from other branches like embryology, cytology, physiology, etc. So, that is the difference between these two taxonomical studies. And here we need to discuss about 5 different classifications. One is Theophrastus classification. It is already given in our AP State Book, of course, they gave about Aristotle classification, but Theophrastus also gave the similar kind of taxonomy classification. And according to this Theophrastus, plants are classified into herbs, shrubs and trees based on their habit. Remember, based on their habit. Very, 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 very important. And this classification was given in his book called Historia Plantarum. What is it? Historia Plantarum. Historia Plantarum is the book in which Theophrastus has classified the plants into 3 categories. What are they? Herbs, shrubs and trees. Who is father of botany? Theophrastus. Father of taxonomy? Linnaeus. And who coined the term taxonomy? A.P.D. Candle. Got it? So, he is father of botany. Who? Theophrastus. Theophrastus is father of botany. Aristotle is father of biology. Remember, this is very, 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 very important. And apart from that, if you take the Linnaeus classified plants into 24 groups. How many groups? 24 groups on the basis of number, length and union of stamens as well as carpels. Understood? Linnaeus has classified plants into how many groups? 24 groups. What is the basis? Number, length and union. Union means fusion. Fusion of stamens as well as carpels. In his book, Species Plantarum, in our NCERT book, they mentioned about Systema Naturae, not Species Plantarum. Species Plantarum was not given in NCERT book. So, this is another book written by Linnaeus. So, Linnaeus was author for these 2 books. One is Systema Naturae, in which he used the term systematics for the first time. In Species Plantarum, he used binomial nomenclatural system consistently for all the plants for the first time. And he also gave a classification that comprises 24 groups of plants on the basis of length, number and union of stamens as well as carpels. That is what you can see here. Now, the most important classification that we need to discuss here is Bentham and Hooker's classification. This is very, very, very important. This actually makes some confusion for most of them because they gave different numbers in this classification. So, remembering the numbers of each taxon is very essential here. Bentham and Hooker, as you know, they proposed natural system of classification. Which system? Natural system. Did they propose a natural system for the whole plant kingdom? No. They gave this natural system of classification only for flowering plants or phanerogams. I also told you in the last class that according to this AP State Book, flowering plants are also called phanerogams. These phanerogams, according to the AP State Book, flowering plants or phanerogams includes both angiosperms and gymnosperms. This is a big confusing thing between NCERT and State Book. That's why we don't discuss about this classification during our intermediate preparation, like during our NEET preparation, because it makes so much of confusion. It's entirely different. That's why as NEET syllabus is completed, exam is over, so now we are explaining all this. Okay, so then don't get confused. Just if they asked in the EAPCET about the flowering plants, go with both angiosperms and gymnosperms. This you have to remember. Now, now listen to me here. So, as I said, phanerogams are nothing but flowering plants. flowering plants. So these flowering plants include 202 natural orders. Natural order is nothing but families. So Bentham and Hooker, remember this is Bentham and Hooker's classification. According to Bentham and Hooker, natural order means family. So how many families were included totally in the phanerogams? 202, of which dicot families 165, gymnosperm families 3, and monocot family it is 34. Altogether 202. You can check here. See, two natural orders, of which dicotyledons 165, gymnosperms 3, monocotyledons 34. These things you have to remember. Not only this, still you are going to get some more, examples. So how many natural orders? What do you mean by natural order here? Natural order is nothing but family. So there are 202 natural orders are there. Understood? Now let us go once again. Yeah. Now this phanerogams, according to this system, is divided into three classes. Three classes. What are they? Number 1, class dicotyledonnae. And class gymnospermae. Gymnospermae and class monocotyledonnae. These are the classes. Now, if you take dicotyledonnae, this dicotyledonnae is again divided into three subclasses. Three subclasses. Let us go back to this. Look at here. Dicotyledonnae divided into three subclasses: polypetale, gamopetale, monoclamidae. Similarly, we'll discuss later. So like this we have three subclasses. Okay. Now this subclass dicotyledonnae, the subclasses include subclass polypetale, subclass gamopetale, and subclass monoclamidae. These are the subclasses. Again, the subclasses are divided into series. Each one is divided into series. Under this, we have three series. Number 1, Number 1, Thalamiflorae. Number 2, Disciflorae. Number 3, Caliciflorae. So I think now you got the clarity what I just said before starting this taxonomy. You have to remember all these things. This is what happens with the EAPCET book. I think you are all lucky that you are just following NCERT book with very little information. If at all, see, you can imagine how the students who, before this NEET exam, how the students have studied all this information. And before 2015, still lot more information was there in EAPCET books, lot of information. And we used to have 2 tracks, first track and second track, just like what you are having in your chemistry and physics. That much information we had in botany. But now it has been reduced. So, but still, though it is reduced, still lot of information is there when compared to the NCERT book. You need some preparation. You need some practice to remember all these things. So, Thalamiflorae, Disciflorae, Caliciflorae. Now, this Thalamiflorae, it comprises, you can check here, see. So, divided into subclasses. Polypetala is divided into series. How many series? 3 series. Now, if you take this series, Thalamiflorae includes 6 cohorts. Cohorts means orders. And Disciflorae includes 4 cohorts. I already told cohorts is nothing but orders. And Caliciflorae includes 5 cohorts, that is 5 orders. This is what you can see here. Next, when it comes to the subclass Gammopetalae, it also includes 3 series. 3 series. What are they? That includes Inferae, Heteromerae, then Bicarpellatae. Inferae, Heteromerae, Bicarpellatae. These are the different series. Now under this, we have again cohorts. So it includes 3 cohorts. What do you mean by cohort? Order. And Heteromerae also includes 3 cohorts. And Bicarpellate includes 4 cohorts. It is clearly mentioned in your material. You can check. You can check your material. See, Gammopetala is divided into 3 cohorts, Heteromerae, 3 cohorts, Bicarpellate, 4 cohorts. Similarly, if you take Monoclamidae, this is most important thing. This Monoclamidae, it has 8 series, and the most important thing, the series not further divided into cohorts. So, natural orders. What do you mean by natural order? Family. were directly placed under series. Natural orders were directly placed under series. This is what you can see in case of monoclinidae. Now, when it comes to this gymnospermae, in gymnospermae, there is no subclasses, no cohorts, of course, no series, and no cohorts. And very, very, very important here, natural orders. Natural order is nothing but family. Were directly placed under class, and this includes 3 natural orders. How many natural orders? 3. So what are they? Number 1, Cycadaceae. This includes example Cycas. Number 2, Coniferaceae. Example Pinus, Cedrus, all this you can take. Third one, Neetaceae. Example Neetum. These are all the things you have to remember. Now, I just explained about dicots and gymnosperms. Still we have to know monocotyledons. Let us go again back to this file. Look at here. I said monoclinidae, there are 8 series, and gamopetal gymnosperms, I think it is not given here. You can write here in gymnosperms. Gymnosperms include 3 natural orders and they are directly placed under the class Gymnospermae. Class Gymnospermae. Now, when it comes to monocotyledon. So in monocotyledon, there are no subclasses, no cohorts or orders, and it is divided into 7 series, and natural orders were placed directly under the series. So what do you mean by natural order here? Family. Families were directly placed under series. Understood? This is very, 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 very important. Next. I think now you can take screenshot of this slide so that it will be very easy for you to understand when you read the material that we have provided to you. Better take the screenshot and copy it into your notebook or in some paper, and keep this along with your material which the college has provided recently. Take the screenshot as early as possible. Yeah, I think it is finished. Okay. So this is what you can see with regard to Bentham and Hooker system of classification. You have to remember all these details. So in Bentham and Hooker system, we have 3 classes, total 3 classes, then 6 subclasses, here 3 subclasses, 3 subclasses, 3 subclasses here, only 3, not 6, 3 subclasses, then 21 series. Look at here how many series are there? Total 3 plus 6 series, and here 8, 6 plus 8, 6, 8 plus 14, 14 plus here 7, 21. So 21 series and 25 natural orders. You can see here 15 natural orders are there, here 10, total 25. There are not natural order, cohorts, cohorts, 25 cohorts. So here 15 and here 10, 25 cohorts. There are no cohorts in Monoclamidae, Gymnospermae, Monocotyledonae. In Monocotyledonae, natural orders were directly placed under series without any cohort division. Even in Monoclamidae, the same thing happened. But in Gymnosperms, there are no subclasses, no series, no cohorts. Natural orders or families were directly placed under the class Gymnospermae. So this is what you have to know about Bentham and Hooker system. This is very important. Next, when it comes to another important aspect, we have another important classification, that is phylogenetic system. Under phylogenetic system, here they give just example. One is Engler and Prantl system, and Engler and Prantl has proposed phylogenetic system in his book Dinaturlichen Pflanzenfamilien. This is the name of book, Dinaturlichen Pflanzenfamilien. This is the name of book in which he published his phylogenetic system. Whereas Hutchinson has proposed his phylogenetic system in the book Families of Flowering Plants. Remember these books. What is the book written by Bentham and Hooker? Genera Plantarum. What are the books written by Linnaeus? Species Plantarum and Systema Naturae. What is the book written by Theophrastus? So Theophrastus also gave a book. So now Historia Plantarum. Now apart from this Engler and Prantl's Dinaturlichen Pflanzenfamilien is the book written by Engler and Prantl, and Hutchinson has written a book Families of Flowering Plants. These books you have to remember. Once again I am repeating. It is Theophrastus who written a book called Historia Plantarum. Linnaeus wrote the 2 books. One is Species Plantarum and other one is Systema Naturae. Bentham and Hooker, Genera Plantarum. Then Engler and Prantl, Dinaturlichen Pflanzenfamilien. Hutchinson, Families of Flowering Plants. You know why I am repeatedly saying this? They may ask you in matching type. So these books are important. Apart from this, there is also another phylogenetic system, latest phylogenetic system. This latest phylogenetic system is called APG system, that is angiospermic phylogenetic group system. Angiospermic phylogenetic group system. So these are all various classifications that we have in our EAPCET book. Now we have to know about different families. Under the different families, first family that I am going to discuss now is Fabaceae. Here the most important difficulty that everyone faces with respect to this state book is you need to remember scientific names of many plants. In our NCERT book, hardly they gave 2 or 3 scientific names for each family. Almost all the names given for all the plants included in each family in the NCERT book, they are all common names, very easy to remember. But here you need to remember the scientific name, botanical name. And even you have to know their number of genera and species. Look at here. There are 450 genera and 8,500 species were included under this family. This number also you have to remember. 450 genera, 8,500 species. And apart from that, you need to remember the important, this plant scientific names, that Arachis hypogea, you know that it is a groundnut. Arachis hypogea, Khajanus khajan, red gram, Cicer eritinum, Bengal gram or chickpea, Crotalaria gentiana, sun hemp, Dolichos lablab, it is bean, Dalbergia latifolia, which is Indian rosewood, Dalbergia latifolia, Indian rosewood, Glycine max, soya bean, Glycine max, Deris indica. So it is commonly called petroplant. Here they gave the spelling is wrong in this, petroplant, make it as petroplant. Or in Telugu it is called as Kanuga chettu. So it is Deris indica. Phaseolus mungo, black gram. What is black gram? Black gram is nothing but minimulu, menapappu. In Rayalaseema district, the people call it as Uddipappu, Uddibellu. Different terminology will be there in different parts of our state, but it is minimulu. Phaseolus mungo. Next, Phaseolus aureus, green gram, pesarapappu, pesalu or pesarapappu, Phaseolus aureus, Physum sativum, garden pea, Lathyrus sativus, wild pea, then Pterocarpus santalinus, red sandus, Erachandram, Pushpa. So red sandus, Pterocarpus santalinus. So red sandus, that's very important. Then Trigonella phoenum greecum, it is fenugreek, menthalu, fenugreek. So these are all scientific names and you have to remember. And another most important thing, very important thing, there are also some differences between information given for Fabaceae family in the NCERT and state book. So this actually makes lot of confusion for the many students. And even last year and last before year, previous year students, they used to express this problem after coming out from the EAPCET exam. Because you have been learning about these families and characters for almost 2 years, like first year and second year again revision, then again 2 times revision. So all these times you are repeatedly mugging up and trying to remember the characters of each family. But suddenly it shifts to some other characters, like whatever the characters that you already stored in your brain, they're all waste and not waste, like many of them, many characters given under NCERT book, they are completely given in opposite way in the state book. Now look at here. When it comes to the flower, pentamerous is okay, but in the NCERT book, the flower in Fabaceae is given as hypogynous, but here it is given as perigynous. So what are the examples that you have studied for perigynous flowers in the NCERT book? plum, peach, rose, right? But in the AP state book, even this Fabaceae family members were also given as perigynous. This is a big confusion, first thing. In the NCERT book, we learned that it is hypogynous flower. But here you need to know that it is perigynous. So this is a big confusion. So this kind of things, you have to be very careful. Then it has cup-shaped thalamus. That is very simple to remember. Next, apart from that, its calyx. Arch sepal is anterior. Look at here. This is arch sepal. What is its position? Anterior. This is what they are representing. This arch sepal is anterior. In case of pisum, it is valvate estivation, of course, which is already known to you. Now, look at here. Another most important thing, androecium. Let us go with our CBSE book. In CBSE book, we learned that this Fabaceae members have diadelphous stamens, isn't it? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This 9 forms into one bundle and this 10th one forms into another bundle. So this is diadelphous. That is what we learned. But AP state books says that most of the members have diadelphous stamens. Some have monoadelphous stamens. Can you recollect what are the species we have studied in our NCERT book with monoadelphous stamens? Malvaceae members like China rose, hibiscus. Malvaceae family member like China rose. But in this state book, some Fabaceae members have monoadelphous stamens. Example, Arachis hypogaea, groundnut, crotalaria. What are they? Arachis hypogaea, that is groundnut and crotalaria. You can check. You can check your material. If you have your material, you can check it. See, it is very clearly given that androecium, monoadelphous in Arachis, that is groundnut and crotalaria. These two have monoadelphous stamens. This is a big difference. But there we studied that Fabaceae members have diadelphous stamens, Malvaceae members have monoadelphous stamens, Asteraceae members have syngenesious stamens. But here the scenario is different. That in Fabaceae itself we have the members with diadelphous stamens and also members with monoadelphous stamens. Diadelphous stamens are present in most of the members. Monoadelphous, exceptionally these two genera. What are they? Arachis hypogaea as well as crotalaria. And apart from this, this is another important big trouble, I can say, that gynoecium. In case of NCERT book, for half inferior ovaries or perigynous flowers, we have studied 3 examples. What are they? Plum, peach, rose. They have half inferior or half superior or perigynous flowers, isn't it? Gynoecium is half inferior there. Whereas in Fabaceae members, it is very clearly mentioned in the NCERT book that they have superior ovary. I will show you the NCERT book also. Look at the NCERT book. See, gynoecium, what is it given? Superior ovary. This is what they gave. But if you look, Fabaceae members here, they have half inferior ovary. Okay, this is another a big difference between state book and NCERT book. So I think you may feel that it is confusing. I'm just because you know I'm comparing both NCERT and state book, because this comparison is required. You need to remember this much specifically, otherwise you will be get confused when you try to attempt these questions in the EAPCET. So the information given in the NCERT and state book are entirely different. That's why it is essential to prepare this material which is provided to you from the college. Okay, for EAPCET, for botany, this material you need to remember, study. Except this, it is not that you have to prepare only this information. You need to read NCERT, entire NCERT. In addition to that, you need to remember these points also. Okay, these are the points which are different from our NCERT. That is what we are trying to explaining you. Now, another most important thing, in case of NCERT book, they did not mention about pollination, but here they mentioned pollination mechanism also, like they have entomophilous pollination, Fabaceae members. Particularly, they have a mechanism called piston mechanism. Piston mechanism, it is found only in case of Fabaceae. This piston mechanism is possible because they have papilionaceous corolla. What kind of corolla? Papilionaceous corolla. You know that in papilionaceous corolla, there are 5 types of petals are present. Not 5, 3 types of petals are present, and they are 5 in number. Look at here. What is this petal? This petal is odd petal, which is called vexillum or standard petal. And what is this? This is wing or alae petals, and these are keel or carina petals. So how many types of petals are there? 3. Total number of petals 5. Now this papilionaceous corolla is actually responsible for piston mechanism. That means this odd petal is very attractive, so that insects attracting to this odd petal will land on this wing or alae. And you know that these keel petals, the 2 margins are joined. You can check in the this NCERT book also, like the floral diagram. So here it is very clearly mentioned. The 2 keel petals are joined and forms into a tube-like structure, which gives protection to the essential sex organs. When this insect press this wing petals down, what for? In search of nectar, because nectar glands are present at the base of ovary. When they press them down, this keel petals gets opened and androecium, gynoecium will come out. That means when pressure is applied, the gynoecium and androecium are coming out. When insects leaves the flower and pressure is released, again they are going back. That means the movement of the stamens, as I mean to say androecium and gynoecium, is like a piston. That's why it is called, this mechanism is called piston mechanism. Got it? So that mechanism is also present here. Next, apart from this, we also have fruits. Fruit is a legume or pod, that it is very well known, but they mentioned about even groundnut fruit. Groundnut has geocarpic, underground, indehiscent nut. What is it? Indehiscent legume or pod. It's a legume or pod which is indehiscent. That means it won't dehisce or it won't rupture. The other members have like dehiscent legume, that is another important thing. And economic importance is also very essential here, like as you know, red sanders, Pterocarpus handalinus, Yarrachandranam, Pushpa. So that is one example. The timber is useful. Indian rosewood, Dalbergia latifolia, that is also useful. Yellow dye, Butea monosperma, it is flame of the forest, it gives blue dye, yellow dye. And Indigofera tinctoria, it gives blue dye. Then fodder plants, this is again different from your NCERT book. Crotalaria and Phaseolus were given here, but there it is mentioned about trifolium and crotalaria. Next, green manure, Sesbania, as well as Tephrosia. So these are the green manure. So these are all the very important differences between your NCERT and state book with respect to the Fabaceae. Similarly, even in Solanaceae also we have some differences. So Solanaceae, it includes 85 genera, 2200 species. What about Fabaceae? 450 genera, 8500 species. Whereas this one, 85 genera, 2200 species. This number is important. So this the AP state book is all memory based. Biology in the sense memory. So just they wanted to test the memory. They not like to know your actual knowledge. But NCERT book is not like that. It will test your memory. It will also test your analytical thinking, and it will also give information about your practical knowledge. So that is the importance difference between these two. Now, if we with respect to the important plants, here we have Atropa belladonna plant. Then Capsicum frutescens. There are two varieties of capsicum is there. Capsicum frutescens is bell pepper. I think we used to call it as capsicum, that bigger capsicum. It is bell pepper, Capsicum frutescens. Whatever the red chili that we are using as a spice in our food item while preparing our food items, it is actually Capsicum annuum. Both are different. Capsicum annuum is different. Capsicum frutescens is different. Capsicum frutescens is bell pepper. I think you know bell pepper, capsicum. Whereas Capsicum annuum is red chili, which is used as a source of spice. Okay, capsicum. Next, Cestrum nocturnum. It is called night queen. There is also another plant called Cestrum diurnum, day king. Very beautiful. Night queen because it blooms in the night times. Day king, it blooms in the daytime. So Cestrum nocturnum, Cestrum diurnum. Then Datura metal, it is very well known, that is Datura plant, thorn apple. This plant is again a big confusion. I think you all know, even during our revision period and when you are in first year, I have very clearly told you that this tomato plant is recently named as Solanum lycopersicon. I think I asked you to write this name in your NCERT book. If you check your NCERT book, it will be there. Of course, not for girls, I am saying, it is for boys who already, exposed to me during their past 2 years. So, the recent name of this tomato is Solanum lycopersicon, but in our AP state book, its name was given as Lycopersicon esculentum. Okay, don't get confused here. So it is Lycopersicon esculentum. Lycopersicon esculentum is a tomato. And Nicotiana tabacum is tobacco plant, and Petunia alba is petunia. Solanum melangina is brinjal. Solanum tuberosum is potato, and Withania somnifera, that is ashwagandha, and Solanum nigrum macaw. These are all some important examples. Now another most important example, important character that you need to remember here is its stem. In nowhere in the NCERT book they mentioned about bicollateral vascular bundles, but in the state book it is clearly explained that the stem contain bicollateral vascular bundles. Let me explain what is this bicollateral vascular bundle. So bicollateral vascular bundle, in the sense here the vascular bundle, there is centrally located xylem. Now this is xylem, centrally located xylem with the phloem on either side. This is phloem, this is phloem. This is phloem. This is also phloem. And these two phloem strips get separated by a strip of cambium, that is fascicular cambium. So these two are fascicular cambium. This is what you can see. This is bicollateral vascular bundle. If you want, you can write this diagram in your material or in some notebook, or take the screenshot so that it will be helpful when you are preparing for the examination. I think you know, I think you are now, have you completed taking the screenshot or copying? Better take the screenshot and you copy it later, because it takes time and we don't have much time to wait and till you write this diagram into your notebook. So better take the screenshot and then you can copy it into your notebook. Now listen to me here. The name itself is clearly indicating here bicollateral. Bi means two. There are two patches of phloem and one patch of xylem. These two xylem and two patches of phloem separated by two strips of fascicular cambium. That is why they are called bicollateral vascular bundle. That's all. Next, when it comes to the inflorescence, it is cymose or axillary, cymose axillary in case of solanum, then terminal solitary cyme in case of datura, panicle in case of tobacco. Now let me show the NCERT book. Now you can check here, not this, yeah, you can check here. This is solanum, this is cymose inflorescence. This cymose inflorescence present in solanum. Remember, solanum has a cymose inflorescence which is called scorpioid cyme. What is it called? Scorpioid cyme. Whereas datura shows what kind of cymose inflorescence? Terminal solitary cyme. Terminal solitary cyme. That is datura. Panicle is nothing but racemose inflorescence in case of tobacco. These are the inflorescences. Okay. So this is very important. Next, when it comes to calyx, persistent calyx in case of solanum and capsicum, persistent. Calyx are persistent, of course. Even in NCERT book it is mentioned that calyx are persistent, but they did not mention the example. So here they also gave the example in the state book. So you are learning here that the examples for this persistent calyx is solanum and capsicum. And corolla, twisted estivation in case of datura, whereas solanum, like solanum nigrum McCoy, it has valvate estivation. This you have to remember. See, look at this diagram. What is the estivation of corolla? In solanum nigrum, that is McCoy. This is valvate. Calyx are also valvate. Both are valvate here. Both calyx as well as corolla, both are valvate. But in the NCERT, in the state book, they also mention about estivation of corolla in datura. In datura, it is valvate, twisted estivation. It is twisted estivation. That's very important. And anthers are dithecous, basifix intros, and gynoecium. Ovary generally bicarpellary bilocular. Rarely it is unilocular. Very important. unilocular in case of chili. In chili, it is bicarpellary but unilocular. Then pollination, it is protandrous or protogynous is also present in some species of Solanum. Then fruit, it is berry in case of capsicum, as well as tomato, brinjal. This is all example. Tomato is Solanum melangina, brinjal, Solanum melangina. Then tomato is Lycopessica esculentum. So these all have, a berry type of fruit. Capsule is also present. Capsule in case of Datura and Nicotiana. So this is what you can see here. Next, when it comes to economic importance of the family, as we know that these ornamental plants like Cestrum nocturnum, that is night queen, Cestrum diurnum, that is day king, these are ornamental. Petunia is also ornamental, that you have to remember. Then this Nicotiana, most important thing, this Makai plant, it produces chemical substances for medicinal value. Ashwagandha roots also gives root extract which can be used as energy tonic. And Nicotiana, from Nicotiana we are extracting an alkaloid called nicotine. Nicotine is an alkaloid obtained from Nicotiana tobacco. So these are all some important economic uses. Next, when it comes to the Liliaceae family, now here again 254 genera and 4075 species are present. 254 genera, 4075. Okay, see, this is what happens. So you have to remember numbers, names, all these details. So next, when it comes to important plants, Allium cepa, that is onion, Allium sativum, garlic, aloe vera, aloe, then Asparagus racemosus, asparagus, Colchicum autumnale, that is meadow saffron, Colchicum, colchicine, Dracena angustifolia, that is also called red dragon, Gloriosa superba, glory lily, and Lilium candidum, lily, whereas Smilax jailanica, that is sarsaparilla, that is called Yucca gloriosa or Yucca Spanish dagger. These are all the various common names that scientific names of plants that were included under Liliaceae. Now the most important thing, root system. In root system, it is fasciculated tuberous roots are present in case of asparagus. And the stem, in case of onion, it is bulb. What is the stem? Bulb, underground bulb. In bulb again we have two kinds of bulbs here, tunicated bulbs, naked bulbs. Tunicated bulb is present in case of onion and also another species called Scilla. Naked bulb is present in garlic, that is Allium sativum. The rhizome is present in case of Gloriosa, corm is present in case of Colchicum, cladophil, it is not phyloclad, cladophil. There is some difference between cladophil and phyloclad. Phyloclad is nothing but where the stem as well as branches are modified for photosynthesis. That means here the stem as well as branches shows unlimited growth. Whereas cladophil is another stem modification where branches of limited growth. What are they? Branches of limited growth become modified into photosynthetic structures. Such photosynthetic structures are called cladophils. Cladophils are present in asparagus, ruscus. These are all some important examples. And with respect to the venation, venation is parallel because it is a monocot family. But exceptionally, Smilax has reticulate venation. Very important. It is not mentioned in your state book, NCERT book. Smilax has reticulate venation. This is most important thing. Then when it comes to the flowers, flowers are homochlamydious and unisexual flowers are also present. Best example for the unisexual flowers, Smilax as well as ruscus. These two are the examples for flowers. Okay. Then when it comes to the gynoecium, style is terminal, stigma is trifid. Pollination, there is protandry is present in Allium, protogyne in case of Colchicum, and fruit is berry in case of asparagus, whereas in Lilium and other members it is capsule. Then seed, very important for polyembryonic seeds, in our NCERT book, we learned about mango as well as orange as an example for polyembryonic. But in the state book, in addition to these two, this allium was also mentioned. Allium has polyembryony. That's very, very, very important. Some species of allium has polyembryony. Then when it comes to the ornamental plants, like lot of plants are ornamental here. Tulip, tulipa, lilium, lily, then asparagus, gloriosa, these are all ornamental plants here. Then source of medicine, aloe, smilax, gloriosa, scilla indica, these are all source of medicine. Then vegetables, allium, cepa, as well as asparagus, these are all vegetables. Then spice, allium sativum is the example. Colchicine, which is a chemical mutagen and which is used for doubling of chromosomes obtained from corms and seeds of Colchicum autumnale. Colchicum autumnale. So these are all various important examples with respect to the Liliaceae family. I think today you got a lot of information. I think so. At least you need to spend minimum 3 to 4 hours to remember all these things. Unless otherwise you have a very perfect preparation, you cannot attempt any question from this taxonomy in the EAPCET. Okay, just follow this material which is already provided to you by our administrators. Just follow this material, and whether you mug up or you practice it many times, but you have to learn. You have to learn. Okay, in addition to our NCERT book information, you need to learn this. Of course, for NCERT information, say for example, Gynoecium of Fabaceae. In NCERT it is given ovary is given as superior, but here we discussed that it is half inferior. That is not required. Just for whatever the characters that I have mentioned here, you prepare these characters from the material. Remaining characters, the characters which I have not mentioned in this material, you have to learn from NCERT book. Got it? Is it clear for all of you? Only for example, here I have mentioned about fruit, berry in asparagus. In case of NCERT book, for the fruits, they mentioned that it is capsule. Okay? Or take the flower. In case of NCERT, Fabaceae flower, perigynous flower. But in NCERT it is given as hypogynous flower. Of course, they did not mention whether it is hypogynous or perigynous or epigynous, but in ovary they mentioned that it has superior ovary. But here we are saying that it is half inferior. That means only these characters you learn from this material. Other than these characters, you learn from NCERT. Okay? Other information, say, let me tell example. For example, under the stem of Solanaceae, here I included one point. What is that? Bicollateral vascular bundles. In addition to the bicollateral vascular bundles, in our NCERT book, it is mentioned that stem is cylindrical, which may be glabrous or hairy, and solid or hollow, branched, with underground stem modification as stem tuber. That is Solanum tuberosum. It is mentioned. So these characters you have to learn from NCERT, and this extra information you have to learn from this material. This is what you have to do. Is it clear for all of you? Is it clear? Yeah. So I think I am not going to extend this class for some more, because this information itself is a lot. For this to learn this information itself, you need a lot of time today. Again, if I continue and then explain some more topics, then it becomes very difficult for you to cover all that syllabus. So today I am closing this session with these families, and tomorrow we'll go with some extra information given under genetics as well as molecular basis of inheritance, strategies for enhancement of food production, microbes in human welfare. Okay. So for example, let us take genetics. In genetics, in the state book, they mentioned a different example for codominance. Except codominance, remaining all the information present in the state book and NCERT is almost same. Of course, there is also one more difference, that for Sahiwal cows of Punjab only mentioned in the NCERT book, but here Ongol bulls are also mentioned as an example for breeding, like artificial breeding. So such differences are there, but remaining thing you have to learn as such from the NCERT. So I think you are clear. This information, whatever we gave to you, you have to learn, and this information is exceptional and it is not included in the NCERT book. The remaining information other than this you have to learn from state book, NCERT. This is only for state. Okay. So questions will appear both from your NCERT information and also from this information. But whereas those points, say for example gynoecium ovary of Fabaceae, it is given in one way in NCERT, in other way in state book. So in such cases, for EAPCET you have to follow this material, this information. Okay. So this you have to do, and if you have any doubts you can ask me now. Your chat box is opened. So it is unmuted, your chat box is unmuted, you can ask me now. You can ask your doubts if you have any doubt, any kind of queries you have. Any doubts you have? Any doubts? I am waiting for your reply. Do you have any doubts regarding the today's class or yesterday's class? No. Okay. Swati, no doubt. Okay. Who is that? Samali Khanteti. Fabaceae about gynoecium. Yes, well, once again I am telling you, in gynoecium of Fabaceae, ovary is half inferior as per as per the state book, it is half inferior. Okay. Who is that? Mani Patalam. In case of Fabaceae, as per the state book, it is half inferior. But as per NCERT, you know that it is superior. So leave it. Leave that superior word now, because it is not required, because you are not preparing for NEET. NEET is already over. So just remember only superior in half inferior. Whenever you are going through, this Fabaceae family from the NCERT book, while reading the ovary, you just remember that it is having half inferior for EAPCET only. You are not provided with any notes. No, it is already supplied, man. Hare Krishna, it is already supplied in your WhatsApp groups. If you did not get this notes, then you ask your administrators who are managing your WhatsApp groups to send the notes once again, or else you call any of your administrators and ask them to send this. If you have state books with you, NJB 720, Khaidi number 720, So if you have the state book with you, just read a state book only. Don't read NCERT. If you don't have state books, then read NCERT for other information. For exceptional information, follow this material. Okay. Okay then. So you are all saying that there is no doubts. That's great. So you are all following very carefully, and hope you all get a best rank even in EAPCET as you achieved your, in your NEET examination. So similarly, you will get best mark, best rank even in EAPCET. Hari Krishna is saying that please inform management from your side too. Yes, I don't know who is looking after your WhatsApp groups. Just tell me his name so that I'll inform him that post this information once again. Hari Krishna, you are from which section? Hari Krishna, you are from which section? I am waiting for your reply. Hari Krishna, oh, you are from Girls Campus, Gosala. Okay. Then I'll inform to Mr. Dean Murli. Mr. Murli, I'll inform him. Okay, yellow star. Okay, no problem. I'll inform your Murli, Dean. So he will forward that information by today. If not, just you call them, call any of your administrators who is looking after your WhatsApp groups, and ask them to share this material. Okay? Yeah. Thank you very much, and bye. See you tomorrow again at the same time, that is at 10:30 p.m. And tomorrow we'll complete this first year syllabus and we'll go with second year. Okay. Thank you. Bye to all.